Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts with breaking news.
That breaking news we have been following closely this morning. 2 people are dead, several people facing life-threatening injuries after this overnight crash. This all happened on I-480 at 10th Street just after 2 o'clock this morning. You can see all the police lights, the emergency services there. Details are still very scarce at the moment. We do know this crash involved 2 cars. We don't know yet what caused this crash to happen. Also breaking news this morning, a person in the hospital over a different overnight crash. Officers called to 159th and Q just after midnight. The good news there, we're told the victim's injuries are not life-threatening. We'll update you on air and online as soon as we know more about both of these breaking situations. In the meantime, it's good to have you with us for our First Alert 6 streaming on this Friday. I'm Erin Hartley, joined by Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. We want to get right to that traffic impacts, of course, with that incident on the 480 freeway. Of course, it's been blocked off this morning as people are now kind of starting to make their way to work this morning. What should people know if they're going to be taking near that route?
I think we're on about hour 4 plus of this being closed. And yeah, it is still, if you're trying to come in from Council Bluffs into Omaha and you use 480, basically it's closed and it's going to force you to dive downtown on the 10th Street exit as of right now. So as you can see, this is the 480 traffic coming in from Council Bluffs, and there's already been construction here. Well, now they got it blocked off here because they're doing a crash investigation back here behind the Marriott Hotel right next to near the 14th Street exit. So everybody's being forced to exit onto 10th Street right there, and then you got to weave through downtown. If downtown's where you're going, that works out well. I think you can get back on 480 near 14th Street. But overall, I'd say the better option is probably just avoid this mess altogether if you don't need to go downtown and cross the river with I-80, because it's really slowing down trying to get anywhere near this on 480, and I-80 is wide open. So you can take that, get across the river, maybe go north on 480 and get to where you need to be. So far, that looks to be the only issue. Not even getting the southbound or westbound traffic on I-80 to really back up too much yet through that construction. I think all the overnight projects have finished up, which is good news, and a lot of green on the map here on a Friday. I'm hoping we can keep it that way and keep things nice and quiet. But the main thing is that 480 is still closed, been that way for 4+ hours, as it looks like that is the main issue on the roads this morning due to that crash that you've been talking about. Yeah. And overall, just a lot easier to use I-80, avoid that entire area right now.
Yeah, of course, he'll work to make sure you're updated about when that's going to open, if that's going to open during this commute.
Got the camera trained right on it, so we'll be the first to know.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's get an update on weather today. A couple storms to get through before it's going to be a great July weekend.
Yeah, it's setting up to be a great one. If you're thinking about getting the car washed and need to just do anything outdoors, the best weather likely waits until tomorrow. So there are some scattered showers, some thunder showers out there right now, and there's going to be more during the day. Nothing that looks all that strong, just adding more to the rain gauges. 85 degrees is the forecast, a bit risky to get the car washed. Wait till later on this evening even, and you can get a better run out of it. And you see everybody gets into the mid 80s for the most part today. Some may have that early in the afternoon, then a thunder shower goes through. Some may get that later on in the afternoon after any thunder showers go through. So that's the tough part, getting the exact timing of any thunder showers and how it impacts the high for today. There's a couple of showers out there this morning south of the metro. Those are moving northeast, mostly impacting areas south of the Platte on the Iowa side and south of I-80 on the Iowa side with a couple little showers. But that rain to the north is exited. Right here, you can't see it, but upper levels, mid levels of the atmosphere, there's a little spin left here that'll be the focal point for what could be a couple more thunder showers later on today. And once we get closer to noon and into the early afternoon, a 1 out of 5 on the scale for an isolated stronger storm that could pick up with some wind in the area. Notice how it's a greater severe threat to the southeast. That is where basically the storms that try to develop here will kind of meander that way, pick up more steam and run into more energy in that direction. And there's plenty muggy during the day today. You're going to notice the muggy meter up in the steamy range. At best, it drops a little bit this evening. So there's a lot of moisture hanging in the air from the several rounds of rain. there's any showers that we have out there this morning, 7 o'clock towards 9 o'clock, where this is what we'll watch and see how much it develops. This model suggests we'll get a little bit of development out of it between Norfolk and Columbus by 9 o'clock. Towards noon, whatever thunder showers are there try to swing towards the river. They cross the river into the afternoon. By 3 o'clock, most should be on the Nebraska side again, and one or two of these could kick out a little wind. Otherwise, it's just more downpours and lightning. By 5 o'clock, most should be east of the metro and east of the viewing area and going east towards Des Moines. And look at what that leaves us with. Near 80 degrees, still muggy, but a pretty good evening by 7 o'clock. Could be a couple showers dropping from the north by 10, 11 o'clock. Those really don't look like all that much. And there may be a couple more off from the west moving in by early Saturday. But you can see just a couple little showers there on the map as we make our way towards what looks to be a pretty good weekend. Okay. Hold on. I swear it's like a dance that I don't know all the moves to.
Because we switched, of course. Okay, that is some promising news. And then looking even into next week, still got some great temperatures on our forecast.
I tell you what, the 10-day forecast has got a little bit of something for everybody. The summer lovers still get some good stuff. Those that want to enjoy a little bit of a reprieve from some of the heat and humidity, Saturday's your day this weekend, 82. 88 on Sunday. The heat and humidity do gradually come back during the afternoon on Sunday. But look at Saturday's forecast. 82 after starting off in the 60s. Quite a bit of sunshine, and the key to that is the dip in the dew points. Look at this getting down into the pleasant range Saturday afternoon. Surges right back up on Sunday. Very muggy to start next week. But look at this dip right here. That's another round of some cooler, drier air by the end of next week. So that 82 is really good on Saturday. We may get 2 days of it, Thursday and Friday, when some of that drier air rolls in. And don't be surprised if you got some morning lows down in the 50s, one or two of those mornings as well. So a little cool late July, or I guess by then, what, mid-July weather, I guess it would be?
Yeah.
There we go.
That's almost like
I haven't done this much when there's only two of us, so I don't know where to sit.
It's fun to figure this out as we go. Okay, Rusty, thank you.
You bet.
New images showing two high-profile arrests in the metro. Both suspects accused of being part of MS-13. One has been arrested during an operation that happened in North Omaha. The other arrested in Council Bluffs. They're accused of entering the country illegally. One of them, who ICE is not naming due to this ongoing investigation, is accused of 5 murders. His alleged associate, Rene Escobar Ochoa, is accused of conspiring to commit murder. An October sentencing is set for an employee at Offutt Air Force Base who pled guilty for sharing classified information. Court documents show David Slater attended the top secret briefings over the war between Russia and Ukraine. Slater allegedly sharing what he had learned from those meetings on a foreign dating platform. He faces up to 10 years in federal prison. New details on a story that we have been following. A food delivery driver never making it to his destination. Douglas County deputies delivering that food instead. That's because the driver, Richard Bossy, was stopped after running a stop sign. Authorities soon learned he was listed on the Nebraska Sex Offender Registry and hadn't registered the car he was driving, as is required by law.
It's a little disturbing. I've used DoorDash myself from time to time when I've gone out with my wife and wanted food delivered for my kids, and this will definitely make me think twice if I ever actually use the service again.
DoorDash says a background check would have prevented Bossy from becoming a driver. The company says he got around the background check by using another driver's account. All right, over here at the safety desk with Maria Cade. Today is the last day to get those Prime Day deals, but all those purchases means the chance for thieves to steal your things, which is always the worst. Yep. You have some tips, though, on how to maybe prevent this from happening.
Yeah, security.org, they were looking into crime data, and they found that more than 58 million packages were stolen last year. Ooh. In 2024, and Amazon says the vast majority of packages, luckily, they're delivered without any issues. But of course, there are some things that we can all do to make sure that our packages packages and items stay safe. So you want to track your packages in real time so you see when they're delivered. You can also leave notes about your delivery, like you want to drop them off behind the house. Certain items can also be delivered to a hub locker at no additional cost, and you can schedule to have those items delivered on a day that you're going to be home. Well, what should you do if your packages are stolen? Amazon says call customer service to get it fixed. You should also call the police too and let them know so they can get the ball rolling on a report.
Yeah, definitely. Good to know. All right, switching gears now. Now we know that people who exercise have a lower risk of dying early, but new research is showing just how big of an impact exercise really can have.
Really, really big impact. Scientists in Australia, they found that regular exercise that increases our heart and our breathing rates may lower the risk of early death by up to 40%. So they analyzed 85 studies that looked at 7 million people worldwide. And the World Health Organization says people should do moderate to intense aerobic physical activity for at least 150 minutes every single week. 75 to 100 minutes of high intensity exercise is another way to get those really great benefits. And researchers say regular exercise that can help combat things like heart disease, which of course is the #1 killer of people around the world.
And it doesn't have to be anything crazy.
No, that moderate exercise, maybe just go for a walk, do some yoga, stretching, that can help you out.
It's good for the mental health too. Okay, Maria, thank you. We're back after this. All right, welcome back to time now 7:15 on this Friday morning. A first alert to some shower potential chances for later on today, but we want to see how much rain we've even gotten this week so far.
There's been a lot of rain in a lot of places, and it's actually helped to erase the drought and the deficit that we've had, especially for July. Look at this. We have jumped quite a bit. We're 1.5 inches above average for July. Now we're above average for the summer as well. Still making up the deficit that we have for the year in general, but it's getting better and better and better. And some places have completely gotten rid of the drought, especially in our northern counties, almost to the point where we're getting too much rain now. 2 to 5 inches of rain in some spots in our northern counties over the last 72 hours. Keep this in mind. If you had any plans maybe to go tubing down the Elkhorn River, usually when we get a scenario like this with a lot of rain to the north, it tends to be something where it makes the access points either get closed or tough to get to. So something to watch for later on today if that was part of your plans this weekend. A lot of water's coming down the Elkhorn, it looks like, over the course of the next couple of days. First Alert radar shows got a couple more showers. Nebraska City, Plattsmouth moving to the northeast. So the closest rain to the metro is just south of Bellevue in the Plattsmouth and Glenwood area right now. And we're going to get a few more storms that try to fire up right in here would probably be the area to watch if you're out and about today working outside, watch to the northwest as a little batch may try to drop in here from the northwest and fire off a couple of storms. A 1 out of 5 on the scale. Nothing widespread, but a couple of storms could be a little stronger with some wind, better energy to the southeast, you can see there. So I'm mostly worried about wind. I left the tornado threat on the low end because once those storms get to where that yellow shaded area is, there could be a brief one that spins up. So we'll be watching that closely. Not expecting a lot of storms though. Afternoon's probably the best chances for those. They drop off in the evening. Could get a couple more showers by tomorrow morning, but then after that, look at the muggy meter for tomorrow. We dip, and look it into the afternoon, into the pleasant range. Tomorrow afternoon is going to be great. Right around 80 degrees, 82 for that afternoon high. There could be a couple of showers early in the morning, but notice how quickly those clouds just go away and we get sunshine the rest of the day. That is a lot to look forward to on a Saturday. Very little to worry about over the course of your day. The warmth and humidity comes back on Sunday, though, gradually in the afternoon, and then around for this upcoming start of next week, the way it appears. So, again, a little something there for everybody. A nice little reprieve from the humidity, albeit it's about 24 hours.
Yeah. A little bit of also promising news as we get into next week, too. A cool off in mid-July.
I tell you what, it even looks cooler than this Saturday. I think one of these 2 days, Thursday or Friday, may not get above 80 degrees. There could be a few more clouds and some rain potential Friday into Saturday that has something to say about that, but that's looking good. And even you go a little farther than that. I showed you this yesterday and again today, odds leaning towards, at the very least, average temperatures, maybe even cooler than average. That's telling us a lot of 80s for highs into the middle of July and maybe even towards the end of July. So all the heat is staying west, and I don't think too many people are upset about that. It's still plenty humid, but we're not dealing with any heat waves, 100+ degree bouts for days on end, and no sign of that coming.
I mean, we haven't even really seen that so far. I don't have any wood to knock on at this point.
There were like a couple days in June, but other than that, July's been phenomenal.
Yeah. All right. We hope it stays that way.
No kidding.
Rusty, thanks. Caught on camera, scary video from the Fremont County Sheriff's Office. It shows the moments a man got outside of his pickup truck on the I-29 route near Percival, Iowa. You can see he appears to throw an object at the semi's windshield, breaking it. Deputies later arrested Corey Behrens. Officials say he escalated the situation by brake checking that semi multiple times. An update now to a First Alert 6 investigation. The man charged for a string of crashes near Bennington will now be sentenced come September. Spencer Rademacher pled no contest to criminal mischief. A charge of attempted assault was dropped. It started late last year when a man had swerved out of the way to avoid a TV in the road, landing his car in a ravine, as you just saw. The man and his wife told investigators a man seemingly was waiting nearby. Metro Transit is asking for your feedback on new policies and additions. They're planning to shorten the wait time for customers using Mobi vehicles. Now, Mobi serves people with disabilities who can't ride a regular bus. They're also adding a new micro transit option called Metro Flex starting next month. It's pretty similar to Uber or Lyft.
It's designed to work really well with our existing big buses to basically get to and from the big buses a little bit more easily if someone lives a little bit farther away from them, or if they're not able to walk or get there on their own quite as easily.
Metro Transit says you can visit an information session over the next couple of weeks. We do have those dates up on our website at firstalert6.com. In our Big Red Extra coverage, Nebraska and Colorado don't have any future dates set to renew their rivalry. The Buffs athletic director, though, wants to see that change. Rick George said he would not only love to schedule the Huskers once again, but he did add Nebraska and Colorado should play every year. The Huskers are 50-21-2 in the all-time matchup. Well, beating the odds, a closer look at a miraculous miracle soaring to new heights when First Alert 6 comes back. Well, 2 young falcons are beating the odds and are being called miracle birds.
Ooh. Back in April, 4 falcon eggs were found scattered on a bank building in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Rescuers didn't think they would be viable, but even so, the Iowa Raptor Project built a nesting box. They placed it on top of the building and moved the eggs into it. To their surprise, 2 of the eggs hatched. Now they're about 6 weeks old.
Wow.
Rescuers plan to continue monitoring those young falcons as they grow.
Unfortunately, we did have some video, but our system's not working great right now. But cool to see, though.
Yes.
Okay. We have an update about the 480 incident of the crash that happened this morning. You want to tell us about?
Yeah, it was closed for about 4 hours, and we just saw on our city cam that 480 westbound's back open. So if you're just getting ready to head out the door from the Council Bluffs side, you can take 480 westbound now into the city and be okay.
All right, good to know. Thank you, Rusty. All right, that's going to do us for our First Alert 6 streaming. Time to now prepare for our update during today's show. You can watch us as we work on here or over the air. Have a great start to your Friday and to your weekend.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
All right, good morning. Time now 7:26 on this Friday. It's good to have you with us. I'm Erin Hartley. We have a major traffic update this morning, something that happened earlier this morning. Now a little bit different, Rusty.
Yeah, 4+ hours, I-480 was closed down coming in from the Council Bluffs side going westbound. Everybody was forced to exit onto 10th Street. There's still construction here, and it's a bit of a bottleneck working its way through, but now people are able to get through on 480 and go westbound. I'm not quite sure what's going on right here, but that's a pretty healthy little bottleneck there, even after the crash has been cleaned up and cleared. So everybody can get up to this point, but a little slow getting there. So no longer closed, which is good news. You don't have to worry about taking I-80. There are some lane restrictions going westbound on Dodge between Saddle Creek and 46 today as well, where you could run into some slowdowns there as well, though none showing up at the moment. Let's take a look at the forecast because we have one more day of some shower and some thunderstorm potential. Just spotty showers out there right now, but we'll watch for some new storm development over the course of the day. There's a little bit of shower activity south of Plattsmouth, moving northeast towards southwest Iowa. Watch up here if any new storms try to get going. This would be the spot for any new development most likely today, and then that would swing through from west to east. A 1 out of 5 on the severe weather risk scale. I think at worst maybe a little wind with some of these, and then they pick up a little more steam to the southeast. Storm chances stay pretty low at any one point, but if they're going to pick up noon on into the early afternoon, it'd be the best bet for an isolated stronger storm or two. Between all that, it's going to be muggy. Muggy meter stays up there all day long, and a high of about 85 degrees at some point for you between any thunder showers. Aaron?
All right, a breaking news update to that information that Rusty was just talking about. 2 people are dead. 3 people are facing life-threatening injuries after this overnight crash. This is on I-480 at 10th Street just after 2 o'clock this morning. Details are still very scarce at the moment. We do know this crash involved 2 cars. We're hoping an update from police very soon. The time now is 7:28. Back here in about 25 minutes with another update.